All right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Courage Under Fire. Once again, this is our third episode. So, welcome to Courage Under Fire. Now, we find that while a lot of women are contributing to society, some of them have been carrying the burdens, silently to manage the stress from unhappy relationship, unreasonable work demands, multitasking between work and family. And in the long run, this is damaging to their physical, emotional, and mental well-being because they don't give themselves space to live life on their own terms or to pursue their dreams. So we want to create this series to address this issue through storytelling and panel discussions. So we hope that our audience who have been struggling to cope with this mental and emotional stress will be motivated by this program in finding the courage to rebuild your lives and reframe your mindset. All right. So, Courage Under Fire was launched as a passion project by Women of Courage Asia. So, our community leaders felt that there was an urgent need for us to create this platform where women could share your stories and have conversations on how you have been under the fire in, like I mentioned, relationship, work, or even in your professional lives, especially in this COVID-19 period. All right. So today's theme is for us to have a close look through conversations, like the struggles and triumphs of single moms, who face single moms who face their challenges and in bringing up their children and keeping the families together. So we will be doing this with our three panelists, sharing their stories and engaging in conversations. All right. So without further ado, let me just give a quick house rules, and then I'll bring up the panelists. All right. So if you have any questions, now we are going live right now on Women of Courage Asia Facebook page. So if you have and YouTube as well. So if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments. All right. So before the Q&A session begins later, we will consolidate your questions and then we'll pick a few to answer on the spot. Now, for those questions that are not addressed in the show, we will still provide the answers. So keep those questions coming. We will reply in the comments. All right. So first of all, I want to introduce our first panelist, which is Christine Looi. Now, Christine, this is a power packed woman. Hi, Christine.
Thank you, Lillian. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. So let
Yeah.
me just give you a very quick introduction of Christine. Christine is she has three kids, right?
Yes.
She was
Yes.
retrenched from a high paying job, and but then
Mm.
faced with financial instability and eventually loss of hope. But overcoming all odds, this powerful, motivated, and high spirited lady replaced the problems with an inspiration to create a community to support and empower women. And her key strength is having the desire to be successful in achieving targets and goals, believing that by working hard and smart, one can achieve them. So Christine also believes that the key to success are being able to multitask and be passionate in whatever she does. So this belief has helped Christine to be disciplined and stay committed to her goals. Right. So Christine is also a strong advocate in the parenting and charity community. She's an optimistic individual and loves giving back to the society. So let's welcome Christine. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Lillian, for the introduction. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Yes.
Yes. Let's bring on Anne. All right. So Anne, she is actually one of our volunteers with Women of Courage Asia. Now she is an investor and a mother of a beautiful daughter. Now prior to entering the investment field, she was a professional makeup artist who has worked for clients like Universal Studios Singapore and Chanel. This gutsy young woman even ran her own business at 18 back in her own country of Vietnam. Let's welcome Anne. Hi, Anne. Welcome back to the show.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me back again.
Right. Now, last but not least, we have Natsha. Now, Natsha was a English language teacher at a public institution And then in the private sector before she met this organization called New Star, right? Due to her hectic work schedule, her health was neglected. It further worsened after she had given birth, which also coincide with her marital breakdown. Now, as a new single mom, she faced a novel challenge of managing work, home, and finances on her own. She then said yes to improving her health before she could tackle the other challenges. She is thankful for making that choice out of love for her family and daughter. And she's grateful to her mentors for showing her the business of creating a happier life for herself. So let's welcome Natsha.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. So thank you so much, ladies, for availing your time. So I would like to each one of you to give our audience a brief background about your story of courage. So shall Christine, you want to go first?
Thank you. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. My name is Christine, and I'm the founder for Nhi Le and Natsha. So people will ask me what is Nhi Le Secret Club, right? Nhi Le is a universal language. If I felt that as a woman, women's secret club, because a lot of times we always put on a strong face, a front, and a lot of things we kept inside our heart and keep it a secret. So I wanted to create this community whereby all the women can gather together discreetly to support them in terms of any issues they are facing, and of course to empower them in terms of through workshop, seminar, talks, or counseling. Of course, we are not an expert, but through friendship and support and a sisterhood community, I felt that we can really encourage a lot of women to come together to empower one another. Of course, this community is also to build connections and creating opportunities for women. Um, for me, I'm divorced with three kids, and during my divorce, I was, retrenched from a high-paying job and loss of income. And during that period of time, I have suicidal thoughts, under depressions, and I felt that maybe I should just leave this world. The kids can just go to the dad, and things like that. And with support from my friends, I felt that I should not give up so easily. And I managed to stand up again, doing odd job to make ends meet. And finally, I was given a chance to restart my life again. And now I am started and founded this company in July. And our members are growing every day. And we really have a great session together, because every Tuesday and Thursday we also have live. And it's not just about empowering, it's also about making them comfortable. I believe in building relationship. So we don't just talk about empowering, but we also share beauty tips and workshop together. So thank you, Lillian, for asking me to join on this session. And I really felt very honored to be able to share with all the rest of the ladies today. Yeah, so feel free to ask me question if you need to. Yeah, that's
Thank
basically
you.
how is my story about. Yeah,
Right. Thank you so much, Christine, for
thank you.
sharing your brief, your story in a nutshell.
Mm.
Okay. Now, shall we have Anne to share next your story of courage?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Anne here again. I'm now is investor and a mother of the 4 years old daughter. She just turned 4 a few days ago. I used to be born from a broken family. My parents divorced when I was two, and growing up in a very difficult hometown and country, have a very tough childhood. Even when I growing up, it's not easy as a younger who don't have a parent around. When I was in teenager, and when I will grow up, I decided to start my business when I was 18 in Vietnam, and a lot of struggling, and until I managed to like get better, and then opportunity come that and then I had to stop again, that I decided to marry and move to Singapore. That's why I'm here. And then I have a family, and then now I'm a divorced mom with a 4 years old daughter, and also I'm still working toward myself a lot more. In the divorce period, it seemed like other mom. It's not easy for the choice of become a single mom, but then now I realize that is everything happened for a reason, and if if I could keep looking at that's negative, my whole life will be
Mm.
negative, and I have to figure out how to be strong and be better to support and take care of my child as well. And how do I going to be a best version of myself, be a mom that can bring up her with happiness and joy, than just like be deep down in my own struggle. So yeah, and now I am today. Continue be a mom and continue do what I'm doing, and I happy to today have on this on lady with me today to share with other women how to can support and help them as well if a similar situation.
Oh, thank you so much, Anne, for sharing your story. It is not easy, and I know about your background. You know where you came from. It's really a very challenging. But you have a fighter's spirit. Yeah. So and
Thank you.
the post that you have posted on your Instagram, your Facebook with your daughter. I mean, it's so inspiring how much love you're showering upon her. Yeah, that's really inspiring. Like really motivate us to spend more time with our children.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
Next we have Nasha. Nasha, will you share your story of courage?
Hi everybody. My name is Natsha. So, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Lillian for actually inviting me onto this platform and onto this sharing session that I can actually share some of the things that I can inspire the people around me and to give people hope. I guess this is what I am. Uh, I guess this is what pretty much what I my life mission is lah. Okay, prior to what I'm actually doing, I'm actually running my own business right now, and I'm actually very thankful for my mentors also for believing in me before I could first believe in myself. And so prior to whatever I was doing, whatever I'm doing, I'm actually an English language. I was actually an English language teacher. I was teaching in Diamond High School for 7 to 8 years. So I guess the person I was back then, I used to be very afraid of everything. I used to put a lot of limits on the things that people could see was possible, but I always told myself that I couldn't do it. So I guess who I am today is a person who is still very I'll still consider myself as someone who's very simple, but I do have big dreams that I think I have forgotten along the way when I was still in my teaching career. So I guess it is really more about working for ourselves, looking after ourselves first before we can start to look after the people around us. So I became a single mom when my daughter was still a newborn. So my ex-husband left within 2 weeks of the birth of her birth. So that was when I realized that I had to take the first step to doing something that I was not comfortable with because I didn't really have a choice. So at the same time, I'm really grateful and thankful for my parents, for my family and friends, and my ex-students as well for giving me the support and a lot of love that they have actually shown me that actually allowed me to step out of the zone that I was. Very negative person, very pessimistic. But I guess it was because of the love that I have from everybody else around me that I realized that I had to start living for myself before I can start to think about the people around me. Yeah, so
Mm,
that's a really short introduction, I guess.
yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me
Thanks.
here, Lilian. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your story in a nutshell. Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm hearing that a strong support system is so important to help you to bounce back and to take that first step
Mm.
in building up your life and stabilizing yourself and everything. Yeah, so we are thankful for the support system that we have in our lives, the loved ones that care for us, that will stand by us when crisis hits. Right, right. So now, to respect everybody's time, and because time is very short, so let's go straight into the panel discussion. Right, we have prepared quite a number of questions. Yeah, because it's very, we understand the challenge of single moms, and but all three of you, are not um, and are able to rise above your challenges. So that is really what inspire us. But what is the biggest hurdle that you had to cross as a single mom, and how did you cope with it? Yeah, feel free to jump in. Yeah, uh, any one of you. Yeah, what is the biggest hurdle that you had to cross as a single mom, and how did you cope with it?
I think for me, I think would be emotional.
Mm,
Because when 2 years back I was divorced, my daughter was having a PSLE, and to decide whether you want to go through this divorce during your children's most important year, PSLE, right? It
mm,
was a hurdle for me. But I felt that if I don't move out from this marriage, it will be very toxic for me. So that was biggest challenge for me 2 years back, having to actually cry and telling her that mommy is going through this, and it's okay to be sad, just breaking down in front of her. And we always look like we are very strong in front of our children, right? But I always tell them it's okay to cry. So my biggest hurdle would be, having to actually break the news to them uh, when they are at the age they are already in school. They already know that, daddy, mommy, and things like that. So when I was having my divorce, my daughter was 12 and my son was 8. Another one, the younger one, was about 6. So that was the moment that was really, really a great hurdle for me to really break the news to them, because already many years of suffering in a toxic relationship, and things just happen that just slaps and saying that, okay, you need to leave this relationship anymore. No longer you have to stay inside, because if you continue to stay, it will be very toxic for us
mm,
as a mom, as a single parents. As women, that you need to outshine yourself, you need to grow. You cannot be, just being a mom or just being a wife to stay in a relationship, because it will not let us grow. It will just keep us depressed every single day. So that is my biggest hurdle, I would say, is handling the emotional relationship with my children. How am I going to go through all this with them? But thank God, after 2 years, I felt that after the divorce, everything is so much better now. Yeah,
mm. So for you, it's
that's my
really
story.
right. So for you, it's really getting out of a toxic relationship, and the emotional hurdles are the challenge, and then to be vulnerable, taking the courage to be vulnerable with your children, acknowledging your emotions. Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. How about Natsha? What
Um,
was your biggest hurdle?
my biggest hurdle, I would say, is actually I really when my I mean when my ex-husband left, I think I had to suddenly take on the role of as a father as well, because I was
Mm,
not only a new mom, I was actually a new mother who's actually going through a brand new motherhood journey or parenting journey.
mm,
So I guess my biggest hurdle was also what others would actually think about me and my family, and I guess wonder about what is really going on in my marriage that caused him to leave, you know.
mm,
But I guess over time, when I started to love myself more, I would say because I realized that if we don't love ourselves at all and we constantly try to change other people and making them stay, we tend to lose ourselves along the way. I don't know if that makes sense.
mm,
But I guess I was very worried about how to please everybody, about what is actually considered a complete family. You know, how to what is a complete family, what is being a perfect wife and all that, a perfect mother. I realized that imperfection is just something that keeps us growing as a
mm,
person. So if there are no failures, if there's no like setbacks in life, we will never grow as a person. And when I look back now, I'm really thankful and grateful that I had to go through all that, you know. And
mm,
because if I didn't go through all that, I guess I would forever feel that life is just a bit of roses. And this would be
mm,
the same set of values that my daughter will actually learn. which I feel that, as a 5-year-old now, I'm very, very thankful also that she's really beyond her years, and it's really easy to communicate with her a lot better as well. So I don't think we'll be as close if our family were to be molded into a complete family system, just like to stay on in a marriage, unhappy marriage, just because others think that is a perfect kind of marriage. Yeah. Or a
Mm.
family. Yeah.
Right. I think one thing we want to highlight to our audience also is that we all, who doesn't want a perfect family, a complete perfect family, right? Yeah, but we all know that it takes two to clap. Yeah, so if one party is not putting in the effort or in not wanting to work together, the problems, yeah, it's not going to work out. Yeah, and I mean, thanks for sharing that. You didn't let the situation overwhelm you and spiral into like self pity, but you very quickly, think about how you can work on yourself, and your child was the motivation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So thanks for sharing your story of courage. And yes, how did what is your biggest hurdle?
I think my bigger hurdle for me is I'm a foreigner mom in a foreign country. A lot of things I don't know. I'm lack of knowledge, lack of information, and lack of support because I don't have a parent who are Singaporean. I don't have a like. And when you go to court and lawyer, they will advise you a lot of things that oh it's very tough for you to be a foreigner mom here. You cannot get the child, and it's a lot of belief system that I believe I couldn't have a chance to be with my child anymore, and the fear of lost the child, and also the fear of am I ready to be a single mom? Am I going to give her a life that she deserves because she never choose to be here, but I bring her here and I have the responsibility for that, and that's when I go to doubt that I couldn't feel any more doubt than that. And then it's bow back. I realized that actually what's the worst thing? My daughter can be here and I'm in Vietnam and then if she will find her mom anyway. When I was growing up I was looking for my mom, and I believe this is just a natural thing that nobody can separate a mother from a child, and that's when it gave me so much courage to remove my belief system and apply the new thing that I'm continue learning, I'm continue change my belief, and then I get what I want right now, which is I have a care and control for my child. I give her a full opportunity to be growing up as a normal kid, and on the because I'm growing up as a kid with the divorced parent, I keep thinking like, oh, that is unhealthy to divorce. That's the bad. She will suffer like me. But then when I remove that, I think, you know what? She will have her own life. Let her decide that what is called suffer. Let her decide what is called happiness or not happiness. I have no right. I can give her life, but I have no right to tell her how it's supposed to look like, and I cannot bring my struggle last time to apply on her. That's unfair as well. As a mom, I'm not trying to fight for her father, or I'm not trying to get any like even my ex. I never even forced to be a father, but I will do my best as a mom to teach her that it's okay to only have a mom. It's okay only to have a dad, or it's okay if a gay couple or like the parent pass away or any struggle in life, because you are human, you will have your own identity. So yeah, by going through that burden, I feel it's like, oh, okay, actually that's not difficult as society say. The end is what I'm telling to myself is more better and more important than anybody else try to
Mm.
teach me something that they're not even in my shoe or in my situation.
Yeah, I think your story always reminds me that it fits the title actually very well. Beating the odds. To dream big, and your dreaming big is to it is possible to have the care and custody of your child, even though you are a foreigner. But you work towards that. You does not allow that to instill fear in you that you're going to lose your child and all that, and you fight for your child, and that is really very inspiring. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, let's take a look at some of the comments that are coming in, and then also take this time, probably to share the live, to your your Facebook page. Yeah. So Kai Sing, who is Kai Sing's Kai Sing is whose supporter?
I see is my mentor.
Oh, hi, Kai Sing. Thank you for supporting. Yeah. So yeah, let's share our live right now to our page or our what you call that personal profile so that more women can hear your stories and be inspired by it. Okay. Now, who else is in the comments? Any more comments? Anita is very kindly supporting us in the background.
I see Amy.
Yes. And I also see Amy.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I think that you ladies are really strong and awesome. And Amy say good afternoon. And hi Sam. Right. Looks like Yihui, you have a lot of supporters, huh?
um,
All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Um, Now finances is one very big chunk of the whole process. In taking care of the children, in the family. So how do you, as a single mom who has to shoulder, um, okay, majority in the society, the father is the breadwinner, but not so much now in today's world, right? It's like both parties are equally important in bringing bread to the table. But for your case, how did you shoulder this role and being the pillar of this family? What kind of pressures do you face, especially during the COVID period? Who wants to go first?
Me
Finances.
again.
Yeah, maybe Christine. Yes, actually. Yeah.
Well, during the COVID, I would say I was sick, to be honest. So the day before the breakdown, um, I was still all right, and the first day I was sick. I was down with flu and fever, and my ex do not want me to see my kid because I told them I'm sick. So for the first 2 weeks, I didn't manage to see my kids at all because it was 14 days quarantine, right? So I was alone at home. um it was sad because I can't see my children. Can you imagine? I'm alone at home. I can't see the kids. It was quite depressing. So I take the chance to actually study, do some online workshop and to improve myself, I would say. So as a breadwinner, I think um it was tough because during my divorce, after I was retrenched, my new flat was coming, and I couldn't get the HDB loan due to some issues, so I have to go through a bank loan. And going through a bank loan, you have to actually submit a lot of documents in order for the bank to approve the loan for you, and that will be a challenge because with the amount that was already approved previously, they need to actually see the bank statement before they disperse the amount once your flat is ready. So I need to make sure that every month I have a contribution. That's the problem. And with not enough income and saving, it was really really challenging. So I have to really, when I talk to my friends about this, they will say, "Hey, come and help you to contribute a CPF, and things like that. You can just repay me slowly, and things like that." And I have no job. Seriously, I was down for like 2 months, 3 months. I have no job. I think like, oh, how am I going to pay for my kids' insurance? How am I going to pay for their food and things like that? Um, and I have no place to stay. So my friend actually offered a room for me to stay with her. And that is where I felt that I lost my hope because too much pressure from me, right? And my mom know that I have issues, and we were in the train, and then she was like, "Hey, money, right? I give you $2,000." That kind is so sad because I'm already 30 plus, and your mom is still giving you money. I felt that, why am I so useless, right? So then my friend, again, the support from friends. she said, "Can Christine, maybe you can help me to, because you have a driving license, you can help me to deliver some stuff. I pay you like $10 or $15 an hour, which is not bad, right? As the friend, she's trying to help me." And I took out the job. I said, "Yes, I will do the delivery. I don't care whether I used to earn five figure or whatever. I think $10, $15 is good enough." So I thank her for giving me the opportunity. And slowly, I embrace myself. I find jobs, I meet people, I ask for opportunities. And given a pay cut that is maybe more than 50, 80%, I agree to take this job. So end up I got a low paying job, but every month at least I'm able to, sustain my insurance for the children. When the insurance policy come, every time when the bill come, people always say, once you get your salary, within 1 week you will finish up because you have to pay all the bills that you have. And the renovation loan is here, and you need to buy furniture and all this thing. But I felt that it also teach me a lesson to save money. Like my previous house, I spent 70K to reno, but my new house I can reno at 20 plus K. I really will go and source cheap and budget way to make my house look beautiful, nice, but I don't need to spend furniture like few $1,000s. I can buy from 42 furniture at $300. It really teach me a lesson, like what Nasha said. It really teach us a lesson going through all these challenges that we face, because it really make us a better person. Now that
Wow.
I used to drive, I used to don't worry about everything because I can buy whatever I want. But through this retrench, I felt that I have to learn and take bus, learn to take the train. I have to, I have three kids, and when they are teenagers, they're still primary school, they will be running around, especially with the boys shouting. I don't care about others people view. I just just bring them around, take train, take bus. I don't care. They are shouting, I also don't care, because I cannot. I only have one person. I am only one person. I cannot cook so many, but I managed. I managed it anyway. So,
Wow.
of course, there's a pressure during the pandemic, but I felt that during this pandemic, it also made me build this community, because I felt that a lot of women out there, they are abused. They are, when you're stuck at home with your husband, you can imagine what will go wrong. Either you are getting better with them or you're getting worse with them. So, I have friends calling me and telling me things happen, blah, blah, blah. I felt that, hey, I wanted to do something for the women. I wanted to support them and to empower them to create something for them, because we really need support in our life. Be it
Yes.
Wow.
whether you have friends or
Yeah.
family, or whether you're alone in Singapore,
Yes.
you need a support as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I think wonderful. I mean, Christine, thanks for being so open and vulnerable in sharing your, the challenges that you are facing with financially. And I think what really inspire me, and I believe all of us here, is that you are adaptable. You are willing to, um, you doesn't allow ego to get in the way. Yeah, going from a five-figure high-paying job, you are able to just do whatever it takes, to fight for yourself, to fend for yourself, to fend for your children, and build your way up again. Yeah, I think that spirit of tenacity and resilience and courage. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Nesha, you have something to add on?
No, I'm just very inspired by Christine.
Very inspired,
Yeah, I
right?
think to have to go through all that is really not easy. Yeah,
Mm.
and she did it. It's
Yes,
really,
yes, yeah.
yeah.
That's the great news. Yeah.
Mm,
So she rises up from that crisis. Yeah. Thank you
correct.
for sharing that. Yeah. Any of
Um,
you want to add on
yes,
your?
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess okay, so because I think that during the pandemic, we're all asked to stay at home and our kids are all supposed to stay at home. So in a way I would say that like what Anne was sharing earlier, everything happens for the best reasons. And I'm glad that during the circuit breaker itself, I was actually able to spend a lot more time with my daughter and at the same time managing my business at the side. So I'm also really and very, very grateful as well for the whole team, new staff, for actually coming up with such a wonderful system for us to bring our business online and to have all our training and events online. So we can actually be with our, like, I can actually be with my daughter and at the same time also run the business without any disturbances. And also I also like to say that because of all these things that are really happening around the world, last time I used to be a person who relied a lot on my parents, on my family to solve problems for me. But I guess that because of what happened and what I had to go through as a single parent, right, it actually prepared me for what's to come during the circuit breaker itself. So in terms of shouldering the breadwinner role, I always have this mindset that I never want my parents to worry whether or not they can help me or not. My family can help me or not. I want to take on the responsibility of managing my own finances, managing my own family, managing my own life. And I guess all the things that happened 5 years before actually really lay the foundation for what came during the circuit breaker itself. So I'm really very grateful for that lah. So I would say that for everything that happens, I think we should. I think I always remind myself to be grateful, good or bad. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Thank you.
correct.
Thanks.
So
Yeah. And how about yourself?
Yeah,
Financially, yeah, I also know that you face quite a bit of a challenge. Yeah.
yeah. I think that is the bigger preparing before get into divorce. I'm glad that I have a lot of learning about finance and like how to invest, how money work, and so on before the crisis happened in my life. Because to be honest, that has helped me a lot. Helped me a lot in preparing. Like okay, it's like it's when I go to lawyer, the first question I ask like, okay, let me know how much is the maximum I have to be ready to make a divorce done, and I make it very clear with the lawyer like, oh okay, how long it take as well, because with me money I can make back, right? Today I can will lost all the money, but I cannot take back time. And time is
Mm.
so precious. Like I need time to build a life with my daughter. And when I meet with like some of my Singaporean friends, because I'm not local here, and they will share with me, oh, divorce in Singapore is very difficult, especially you have kids, you will take 3 years to 8 years. And I was like, 8 years? No, I'm not going to wait for 8 years. No way, right? And my lawyer say the same thing as well, because they say, sometimes if is the partner make it difficult, you may take longer time. And I like, no matter what, I will make it quick and fast, because I don't want to continue the toxic and the pain and the trauma for my kid. That's the first thing, my priority. Second
Mm.
thing that lady, this is so important. Even I'm right now I already start teach for my daughter. Financial education is so important. It's more the most important thing, even more important than life skill, even more important than education in school. I may say this, the people who may like don't agree with me, but look, if you don't have strong in finance, you don't have a power to make a decision. For example, this person is not healthy for you, this person not good for you, but because of money I have to continue stay back and suffering myself. And when I'm suffering myself, I'm suffering my kid without let her know that, right? So I'm glad that I have enough education for the finance, like how money work, how to invest, how to, and of course, like Christy say, it's right. Ask for help. I was so blessed that I don't have family, but I have so much support and help from my friend. At the moment I say, you know what, I'm going to divorce. All my friends say, how much money you need? I'm ready to transfer for you. You need to get rich from that. That is so toxic. And I'm like, oh, I have toxic, and no, none of you like. So you know that your friend will love you. They will don't stop you from doing what you love. They will don't stop you from in a relationship or love your partner or love your kid, whatever. But when you need help, and this is what I feel I'm very grateful up to this moment. Even I'm working every day with them, my team, my investor, and we always have this slogan together like, if the boat going to sink, as long as all of us survive, we can build a new boat. And I think that is so important as well. That the support is so strong that I know they can see I go through like emotional breakdown and financially breakdown. Of course, I'm a single mom or foreigner in a foreign country. But also one more thing I learned that because I'm growing up difficult, so I don't have a problem of seeing like, oh, if I don't have this shirt for my daughter, I will be sad. I doesn't see that's necessary. With me, I will have a
Mm.
list of what is priority first. Of course, her school fee
Mm.
will be priority, and then
Yep.
second thing, what next thing, food. As long as she eat what I eat, and It's okay. Today she eat veggie with rice. No need every day have to be expensive or fancy food because kids don't care. They don't care what food you put on the table. They care, did my mom love me or not? Did my mom play with me, or my mom just busy sit there and cry all day? So when I book in a list of what is priority, finance is the most important for my divorce fee. But other than that, the kid is not expensive if I can manage, right? Then I like, oh, actually, everything has solution. If I
Right.
ask the right question, I have a right answer, and then I can solve my problem. And of course, stress. I'm sure Christy and Natasha, it's not easy. I can imagine, especially Christy, you have 3 kids. That's amazing for me. I want, and I really like, sometimes I want to carry her in shoulder and walk around and working. So yeah, it's a choice and a decision that I make, that I have to pay a price. It's just how much I want to pay. I want to pay by money or I want to pay by time. And I decide to
Right.
pay by money. I pay by money and then I make back. So that's my own thought of how I'm go through the financial
The
crisis.
financial, right. I think thank you, Anne, for sharing with us. Like you prioritize. You're very focused of what is important, what is necessary. What is the necessary action step to take first. Yeah, for the benefit of your child. Yeah, yeah. Like what Sarah also identified, the skill of prioritizing. Yeah. So I think that is a very key learning point for us. Yeah. So you do not allow. There's no point dragging the whole thing. Yeah. So thank you for that tip. That sharing your learning from your experience. So one more question. Um, has there been a case where you and all your children felt stigmatized by people you know or even do not know on the basis of your current situation, and how do you handle it?
Oh wow,
Would
this
you
is,
have you faced any situation where you're being stigmatized?
I just paid it, so I think I will go with it first. So it's just like last 1.5 months, it's been tough for me to face because the divorce is done, right? So the next step is follow the court order, and the kid have to be stay with me and see the dad and that side for like certain day of a week, that based on court order. And it go through a lot of conflict, but we don't communication, like me and my ex, we don't discuss about that. And it's tough, like it's very hard to talk about parenting with a person that they would may have their own style of parenting. So I will go through a lot of struggling with Ava for a few weeks, because she come back and she confused, she asked a lot of questions. And I'm realize, I'm like, oh, actually it's not about how well I'm trying to protect her, because I've been protect her. I didn't mention anything. I'm act as normal. I like, yeah, daddy go work, and like, it's same, because my ex spouse job is have a lot of fly away, and he not in Singapore. So when we are in when she with me all the time, she don't see a difference. But when now she have to be see a dad one day and then stay with me, and she confused and she asks, and the more I say, oh, when you ready, when you bigger a bit, I will explain to you, because that's what I think is right. But then actually it's not. And then it's getting worse and worse. Like every week she come back, she will cry, she will wake up midnight, she will tell me like, mommy, why you like that? Like the other side will say the story like, oh, daddy say you don't love him anymore, you don't like him, you don't want to see him, why you do that, why? And I was like, oh, actually that's not true, but I don't want to justify. But then I like, oh, okay, how do I fix this? And I will cry a lot. I will cry every time she goes school. I will cry, because I like, what should I do to solve this problem? And then I decide a decision that I never think that one day I would do that. Tell a 4 years old daughter what is called divorce. I explain to her everything in like half an hour. Sit down and talk to her like adult. I tell her, like, you need to understand relationship between mommy and daddy have nothing to do relationship between me to you or daddy to you. That's a totally different, right? As long as you need to understand that we still love you, I love you, daddy love you, and you have to be grateful that you have parent. Some kids in the world don't even have parent, or like they in difficulty, they don't even have food on the table. And she understand that. She watched the video and I will cry with her as well. And then she was stop and she was like, "It's okay, mommy. I understand already. It's okay. Don't
Wow.
cry anymore, okay?" And I was shocked. I was thought like, "Are you sure you understand?" But on that day to now, she's never asked me any question anymore. She was so enjoying to go, because I feel what I keep thinking that she's too young to understand, but actually not true. She needs the answer. She needs the
Mm.
fair answer that, okay, daddy say one side of story, I have a one side of story, but she will choose because she spent time. She will know who love her, who spend time her, who care for her. Of course, she can tell that. It's just she want
Mm.
a confirmation from her mom that to
Mm.
tell her like, oh, okay, I'm fine, I'm normal, because I keep telling her like, you normal, you normal,
Mm.
and you are special, and you awesome. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, and don't even let me tell you who are you as a person. You are Ava, and you can be whatever you want, can do whatever you want. It's have nothing to do with like daddy or mommy or grandparents. They can say
Mm.
whatever they want, but how do you tell yourself is important. Are you amazing? Are you loving yourself? And yeah, she doing great now. So I think
Mm.
this is my sharing for other mom. Don't let other people give you, like, because society give you a lot of thief and like thief that is not reality. Okay, just give the kid the truth. Just give the kid the truth, the reality. How they handle it is their choice, because too bad they already in that situation, right? With other people may think like, oh my god, so bad luck this kid. Don't give them negative, feed them opposite. Give them that. Yeah, but you have a privilege of a chance to be understand what is come from a divorced family, right?
Mm.
Other kids who they have parent, and like I have a best friend that she stay with the parent. The parent never divorced, but she say it's worse than divorce because they don't sleep together, they don't eat together, they don't talk together, and I'm stay like that for 20 years until now. She don't want to marry. It's just because she also
Mm.
traumatized. So I want to give her a clear answer that I'm happy, you were happy. Do you happy? And she was like, yeah, I'm happy, mommy. And every day she was like, I love you, mommy. You know, you're the best mom in the world. Every time she say that, I feel so sweet. But yeah,
Aw.
yeah. Every day she was like, mommy, you're the best mom ever. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, who did you say that? I say, I don't know. I think you're the best mom. So I think cherish with the kid every moment. Now I just remind myself I cannot control what happened all the time, but I can
Mm.
control right now, right here
Yeah.
in my house, in my
Yeah.
environment. I can
Yeah.
give her whatever I can give under my power, and I should just focus on that. I should stop
Mm.
focus on, oh, why you do this to my child, why you say that. I
Right.
I, I
Right.
stop doing that, and I want
Yeah.
other mom also like that. Like, don't care what people tell about your kid. Just
Yeah.
just be you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks, Anne, for sharing that. I think one very important key point here is, do not, I mean, you are teaching your child since young to, do not allow what other people say about you, do not allow what other perceptions impose on them. Yeah. So, what other people say is what other people say. Most important is, she felt that she's the most loved person in the world and mommy is the best mom. Yeah, I think that's the most important. Right. Okay. I think we're going to proceed to the next question. Right. Okay, let me. I have a lot of questions, but I don't think we have all the time. We won't have the time to go through all the questions. But what kind of actions you are taking to take good care of yourself and your family? I think, with all the challenges that you are facing, but in spite of all the challenges that you're facing, what kind of actions are you taking in taking good care of yourself and your family? Let's hear it maybe from Natsha. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I would say that to me, health is very important because I guess when I had all this busy hectic schedule, when I was teaching, taking on the various assignments, teaching assignments all around the island and all that, so I felt very tired most of the time, and I realized my health was really bad, gastric issues and all that. So I guess I started to take a step back, and that was when I realized that if my health is not settled, if my mental health, is my physical health, everything is not settled, right, I won't be able to give 100% to my family. So I
Mm,
guess I started to look after myself a lot more. Like instead of skipping meals, I started to eat all 3 meals. I get enough sleep. and I make sure
Mm.
that my daughter actually follows this routine as well, sleeping enough, taking some time to get away from all the TV devices and all that, and really spend time communicating with each other.
Mm.
Because I think through her toddler years, it wasn't very easy for me to manage because she has a very dominant character, you know.
Mm.
So I had to let her, you know, throw her tantrums, but I realized at the end of the day, there has to be communication. So
Mm.
I spend time with her to communicate. You know, obviously there will be naysayers saying that Aya, you know, she's not from a complete family. You know, sometimes she'll come back home. She will ask me, hey, you know, or sometimes some of her friends will ask her, hey, where's your daddy? She has not seen her dad before. So,
Mm.
so questions like this, I guess these it may be a very simple question or very question that it may seem very insignificant, but I guess for a kid, right?
Mm.
I started to look after more of her mental health and teaching her how to manage her own emotions. So it's really
Mm.
not about what that person say, what other people say, but it's really about you know, why we are here. So when we ask me questions like, you know, how do we take care of ourselves, I think mental and physical health is really something that I put focus on. I place
Mm.
emphasis on before I could settle all the other areas.
Right.
Yeah, for me.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Thanks, Yihui. How about you, Christine? How did you take? What are the actions that you took in taking care of yourself and your family?
I think mindset is very
Mm.
important because if you are in the positive and correct mindset, taking care of yourself would be, like what Nasha said, you have to really, health is very important, your mental wellness is very important. Then by doing that, you will be able to naturally take care of your family because
Mm.
you already have a positive mindset. Once you have a positive mindset, you are healthy, your pocket also healthy, your body also healthy. You will be able
Mm.
to take care of your family. Like and right, yeah, you need to be financially
Mm.
stable, right? So yeah, I think it's very simple. Just the mindset must be positive,
Mm.
must be healthy. Then
Mm.
naturally you will be able to take care of the
Right.
family and yourself.
Yeah. I think we have all
Mm.
a common theme here. Like, we all all start with like the mindset. Really start with the
That's
mindset.
very
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, one last question. How has this whole experience, I know it's the situation that forces you to be in the situation that you are in right now, but how does this experience of being a single mom change your perspective of life and then driven you to create a new future for yourself and your family? Who wants to go first?
I think I would say for me, when I think about the future, I really I have this vision board, dream board about what kind of life I want to create for myself and my family, my daughter. So I guess there's this quote which may seem very cliche-ish, but it really brought me to perspective. It doesn't matter what happened in the past; it's already over. I guess it's
Mm.
more about what we can actually do now today that will actually help us to create a better life. So I started this thing called during the circuit breaker, what are the daily habits that my daughter and I can do together to
Mm.
create a future that we want. So we even have different calendars, and then we try and sync mommy daughter time together, you know, because
Ah.
I realized that being cooped up in the same house during the circuit breaker brought out a lot of emotions like, hey, why I cannot go out? You know, all sorts of things started coming, and then we started arguing a little bit here and there. So I guess coming up with a system like that, you know, how to manage our time together, how to spend time together, all these daily habits actually add up to what kind of future we want to create as a
Mm.
mother and daughter team. So I always tell her, I would like to include. It's not. I don't want a household whereby I tell you to do things. I want you to discuss whatever things that you want with me together, so that we can create the future that we want together.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get her involved rather than me talking down to her. Um, I feel that that's more effective in that sense, getting her
Mm.
involved and taking responsibility for the decisions that she makes. So if she chooses
Mm.
to do this, then she has less time for another thing that she wants to do. But that is her ownership, not mine. So I'll
Mm.
make it very clear with her. Yeah. So when we talk about the future, we obviously have dreams, where we want to stay, what we want to do. But I guess it's really more about starting on the daily habits first.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I like that, the daily habits and having the vision, a vision board. Yeah, I think it's fun to do with the children, especially
Yeah.
you start them from young, creating vision boards. Yeah. And it's,
Mm.
it's the bonding time, the quality time spent together, and dreaming and dream big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about and how does this experience change your perspective of life and driven you to create a new future for yourself and your daughter?
Yeah. For me, of course I will a totally new version of myself today. Of course, it's still me have a part of go through on the struggle, but I feel I'm getting back stronger and better. And I I look at future in different way. That
Mm.
I agree with Nasra that it's about habit daily and how you taking small action, small step. But I want to add on that as well that I was used to think that be a mom. I limit myself by I'm only a mom of my daughter. But
Mm.
when I go through this, I learned another thing called how do am I going to teach her what is called success? What is woman independent? What is called woman right? What is feminine? How to teach her on that without showing her, right? And I'm do that daily. I exercise with her. I talk to her. I treat her like a friend. I treat her like already a girl that going to be a woman and she need all these basic skills to survive. And important that I don't give her how her future look like, but I show her how my future look like, and she can see that, oh, okay, my mom can make her own future, my mom can do
Mm.
what she wants, she happy on herself. And I believe a lot in self happiness. I feel that
Mm.
if I'm not happy, no matter who I be with, it cannot be bring happy for them. And I think
Mm.
I don't say that I'm very success mom right now, but I confident say that my child is healthy mentally,
Mm.
physically, and she have a strong support from me to be whatever she want. For example, if one day she in a toxic relationship, how am I have a right to tell her like, oh, you should get out? If am I still stuck in some toxic relationship? That's not right, right? So I believe in
Yeah.
action have to come with belief and have to be adapt and change and continue learning and growing. And I shared this with Lillian before. I like after I have a baby, it just changed me so much that I just be a better me every day.
Mm.
It's just I even I'm alone in the room, I do something I will like if Eva here and she look at me, what do she would think? How do she
Mm.
will learn from this? And then discipline myself to be better and show the result by the energy how I'm been around with her, how I'm spend time with her, how I teaching her certain small thing, how to be
Mm.
grateful, how to love yourself, how to love
Mm.
other, how to don't judge other people, how to answer the feedback from life, and so on. So
Wow.
it changed a lot in me that, oh, now if I see a single mom or if I see a single dad or if I see other couple who go through like struggling or fight, I won't think like me before that anymore, right? So it's open minded and I grow a lot more with
Mm.
Mm.
open heart, open mind,
Yes.
Right.
grounded, and can teach her more appreciate every moment
Yeah.
in life.
I think what I'm hearing is like happiness is what you are going for, and then also you're
Yeah,
leading by example.
yeah,
Yeah, the way to show your daughter the future is you're leading by example. You're walking the talk. Yeah. Thank you for so much for sharing. So Christine, the time is running out, so a short a short one, and then we do our reflection. Yeah. How
Okay,
is
okay.
your experience?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. So for me, because we grew up in a very loud family, so we are very loud, right? So we'll be shouting here and there. You will see some of the families like that. So when I move out from this marriage, I try not to do that anymore. So every time I talk to them, I will really talk, like, "Can you please do that? Can you please blah blah blah." I try to be a listener.
Mm.
Being a parent, you need to listen to what your children have to say, of course, to share. Future is on their hand. We can build a very positive life for them, but the future still lies on them because we cannot control the friends that they met. We cannot control who they hang out with, but of course we can just give them feedback, like what Anne said. Like my daughter, she has a boyfriend. I cannot say, hey, you cannot hang out with this boy. Because they will feel very offended. Say, why? So when things happen, they will share, they will start sharing with you, and then it's your time to actually share with them. And they will realize that, hey, mom, actually you are right. So we cannot stop them from closing their door to us, but we can share as our lifehood lah, because we have went through all this, and as parents we have to listen and we have to share. So I felt that we should not close our door as a parent, because that's their only source of comfort coming to us to share. If they don't share with us, they start to share outside, then it will be very hard for us as a single parent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, full
yeah.
stop.
I think,
Stop
yeah.
answering.
Thank you, thank you. I think that
Yeah.
was great. Being an active listener, yeah, to listen to our children. We want them to be sharing with us, right? So
Mm.
that we can give them, the appropriate advice that we can. Right. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot. There's a whole list of questions, and I really appreciate you ladies for answering so many of them. I think to wrap up the session, let's give your takeaway. You heard from each other's story, yeah. So um, you just share, maybe just a 1 minute, or within a minute, a reflection of your takeaway, yeah. So Natsha, you want to go first?
I can. First and
Mm,
foremost, I really am very um I'm very heartened by Christine and Anne's, and I think that looking at their situation, I'm powered by their stories actually, because there are a lot of I think single parents, we face a lot of different problems, different issues, and I think each of us have a different set of problems,
mm,
and I'm really, especially Christine, I can't imagine being away from my kid, for even 1 day or 2 days, and to not spend time with them, not being able to see your three kids. I think I can't imagine myself in that situation, but I'm really, yeah, I was really bowled over by the fact that you actually went through it, and the sadness didn't really show on your face lah, even though I can feel 那个 the
yeah.
mother's pain.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it doesn't really show, and I see that, sometimes, like what you said earlier on, Christine, that as much of the problems that we actually face, we never show it to our children or our family to make them worry. And I think you are an amazing role model to your daughter. And I feel that, when you mentioned the part where you said, no, she's about, not telling her, about the guys, if this, I think it's really about setting a good example and a good role model for our daughters to emulate. Yeah, so this is something that I'm actually working on as well. I won't say I'm a perfect mother, or nobody is. Nobody is a perfect parent, but I guess
Yeah,
that
we're
there are a lot
all
of
work
learning
in
points.
progress, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
work
always on
in.
L plates, every time I tell my friends, we're always on L plates, and there's so much to learn from each other. So I'm really very inspired by the fact that you talk about letting your daughter have her own choices, but you always have her back. Yeah, this is something that I'm constantly trying to put into practice as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So thank you so
Thank
much for your
you.
stories today,
Thank you,
Christine and
Thanks
Lily.
for
Anne.
your
Thanks,
reflection and
Lilian, for having
takeaway.
me here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How about you, Anne? What is your reflection and takeaway from this
Uh,
session?
yeah, for me today, I have learned that another thing that like I'm not alone. Like I always feel like be a single mom, very lonely, and around me, because I have a new. I constantly have new friend, and then some friend leave my life, right? And people come for season or reason or for lifetime, and I'm accepted that now that okay, I'm growing. If my friend happy married, I always wish them happy married. I always telling them that don't make mistake like me, look at my life to like to improve your marriage, and I will never use that experience to make someone misunderstand you should be single mom if you're not happy married or something. No, 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 that's a no for me. And that's what I reflect today, that I'm actually not alone, and it's okay to have new friends who go through the similar situation and similar struggling, because we have in our shoulder back together to support each other, right? And doesn't mean that we are see married, like for me, I'm not sure how it work, but I believe it's the same because I see you both is amazing lady and positive as well. That marriage and relationship and love is a beautiful thing. I'm still love. I'm still looking for love again. Nothing to fear of. You already go to divorce. What is the worst thing, right? So when me is heartbroken, it's not as scared as last time anymore. And important that I'm ready to take a new path with a new journey that I've been better myself and my friend around me, a lady who like even watching like, because many times when Lillian asked me to share on this, I was like, I'm not sure it will be help people. People would think like I'll come here and nagging about my divorce and all that. But then I realized I say no, if me on that period of divorce, if I don't have on this video on YouTube, if I don't have my mentor, don't have my friend who go through this, share with me that personal experience. If my lawyer don't share with me on this story, am I going to have a courage to believe that it's healthy to get out of that toxic relationship? And I believe lack of information, people don't listen this often and make me more courage. I like, you know what? I will share with people. I don't care what people judge me because I feel that it's just one person outside there hear my story, hear Nasta, Asha, or hear Kristen, and they find themselves. They feel they find their voice again. They love themselves again. They believe themselves again, and they know that other women can do it. I'm actually not that scared. I should
Mm,
love myself and find my own who I am as a person, what I am in here in this life, and how do I be better for my child to be healthier and better. So that's what
mm.
I take away from today.
Thank you, thank you. I think yeah, it's very important. What you say is very true. Oftentimes we all think that we are the only person in this world that's going through, such and such a situation, and then you spiral into this self pity and all that. Yeah, but knowing that there are women out there, they are facing similar situations, similar struggles, or certain the emotional struggles and the mental struggles. Yeah, knowing that there are women out there that can empathize with you and can inspire you and motivate you and encourage you to get out of that uh, negative mindset. I think that's wonderful. Thank you for taking the courage to share, all three of you, to share your vulnerable stories. So last but not least, Christine, what is your takeaway and reflection for this session?
I also agree with Anne, and for Nasha, she gave birth without the baby without the father. It was a huge challenge also to go through. And for Anne, as a foreigner, she managed to stay so strong, and so firm in Singapore to get her rights for the children. I think it's a very encouraging moment for every single mom, yeah, that have went through all this thing. And for myself, I always felt that, like what Anne said, I felt that we have to be the change that we want to see, not others people to see. Yeah, we change the way we want ourselves to see, for our children to see. We don't bother about what other people think about us. So when people come to me, they always say that, this person say that person say that. I say, I don't even bother what they say, because I felt that whatever I do is right, is righteous. I never kill anybody. I never go and rob anybody. I think I have my own stand, which is why I set up this community, because there will always be haters in our life, whether how good you are. Even Mother Teresa also got haters, right? So
Mm,
we always must believe that what we do is right, for ourselves and for our children. That is very important, for every single mom or every woman out there, that we cannot be always chasing after status and titles. We really need to reflect on ourselves sometimes to see what we really want in life, for ourselves and for our children. Yeah, so I really thank Lillian and you guys for giving me this opportunity to share and to listen to both strong ladies' stories also. Really, bring me back to think about what I have to, maybe to spend more time with my children despite the busy schedule I have, and with my three kids. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, all three of you, for taking the time to share, to come here and share, because your sharing always will inspire others. And it reminds me of this quote, all three of you, your stories, that, your life unfolds to the proportion of your courage. So, every time you take the courage to step forward, to fight for yourself, to stand for something that you believe in, yeah, your life start to unfold. And thanks for leading by example, for walking the talk for your children and inspiring, all the ladies and all our audience out there. So I hope that this episode has really brought value to you. You know, if you did not manage to catch everything, you can always watch the replay. Yeah, all three of them has shared so many nuggets of wisdom and practical strategies and reminders for all of us. So thank you very much. Um, Next, I just want to give some announcements. Yeah, because as Women of Courage Asia, we are a community, a self-funded non-profit community where we want to empower women to go from being stuck in fear, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs to living a life of courage, purpose, and significance. So we have our monthly empowerment meeting, which happens every last Tuesday of the month. So, but come this month, we do not have one. But tomorrow we have a webinar, a live webinar by our community partner, Miss Sari Marsden. She will be sharing, how to move yourself out from fitting in to fit to lead, right? So do come and join us. Yeah, the link will be in the caption as well. So it's called Body Authenticity, happening tomorrow evening. Okay, and our next episode for this five-part series will be on the 20th of January, right? Same time, 12 p.m. So do log into our Facebook page, and yeah, we have more panelists on board, right, to share with you our next topic. So stay tuned. Okay, right. So once again, thank you, ladies, for being on the show. I really appreciate your time. So on this note,
Thank you for having
yes, thank
me.
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you. Yeah, right. So we'll see you we'll see you in the community, and to our all audience, we'll see you again on the social media. Continue to follow us on our Facebook page, Women of Courage Asia, and stay connected with us for the community